So an atheist asked me on my YouTube channel a wonderful, interesting, and very difficult question. That is, can you tell me why I should believe in Jesus without the Bible? How many Christians could answer that right now? I can, but I would like to know how many Christians could answer that. Probably very few. So let me answer that question. Okay, so based on it, the Bible alone is a piece of literature. Let's not take it serious at this point. As a piece of literature, it's probably the greatest book ever devised, because the hero of the story has to go through a torture, a humiliation, and a death, and the people who are going to put him through that know that he is innocent, and he still goes through it anyway. And he goes through it to absolve truly guilty people of their blame for their crime. There's nothing more tragic, more beautiful, and at the same time, more thrilling. This book called the Bible, you call it a book, we call it a library of 66 books. And if you're Catholic, you got the added Apocrypha. If you're Orthodox, you have a few extra books on top of that. But let's just stick to the 66 canon. You have a library of 66 books. And in these books is a promise of this to come. He comes, he goes through it, and even then beats death by bringing himself back to life. I mean, it's amazing. This library of books is the standard bearer for all books in the English language. William Shakespeare wrote his ideas based on the very foundations of the Bible. Modern English language is based in part on the writing style in the Bible. What other reasons are there? Because that's probably not sufficient. This is where it gets very difficult, because you then have to look at the impact that this man called Jesus of Nazareth made on the entire world. This is where it really does become difficult. So let's look at when he was alive. Not when he was the writings of those who are around in his time. Let's look at the centurions who were guarding his grave. And there is writings out there of this. I only learned this from a Roman historian. And he said that the centurions testified that when they opened that tomb, the body that they had put in there 3 days earlier was not there. They testified that he did rise from the dead. And at that point, the centurions testified, and they hated Jesus, remember these people. The Roman soldiers who put him to death, tortured him, flayed him, and did all of this, hated him. They then testified that surely he was the Son of God. He was the one who had came to save us. Then we look at other writers of the time. Josephus, a Jewish person in the Roman Empire. What did he write? And he was no fan of Jesus. He hated Jesus. And he was also trying to write up to his pagan overlords, the emperors of Rome. But what did he even write? He wrote that this man, Jesus of Nazareth, was truly a holy man, a righteous man, and an extremely pious man. And in the 3 years, 4 months that he was doing his ministry, neither his friends nor anyone who had ever known of him could say that he had done one thing wrong. Could you say as a human being that you can go 3 years and 4 months without doing one thing wrong? I can't go 3 hours without doing something wrong. I become angered. I become judgmental. I see a beautiful woman go past. I become lustful. I'm doing wrong by doing these things. Jesus didn't do it for 3 years and 4 months. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So maybe he truly was the only man in history who did not sin, was faultless. You look at the writings in a book called Annals, and this is where I changed towards becoming a Christian again. When I read this book, it says there was a man called Jesus, born in Nazareth. Now, okay, it could have been another Jesus, another Yeshua. He claimed to be Messiah. Well, loads of people claimed to be Messiah. People even thought John the Baptist, the cousin of Jesus Christ, was the Messiah because he came like Elijah, in the same spirit of Elijah. Did the same things, challenged the leaders of the empires, the Persians and the Romans, and Egyptians, I may add. No. Okay, what else does it say? That this was a man who cured the blind, healed the sick, made the paralyzed walk again, got rid of the leprosy that was infecting people just by look and touch and word. Okay, so this is someone who's an extremely special person. It's weird how the stories in history written under some of the most brutal anti-Christian persecutors like Tiberius all converge to confirm the Bible's account of Jesus Christ was accurate. So this is a man who had a strong impact in his lifetime on pagans, Jews, and empires. This is why people say he was a king without a kingdom. He was a man who had 12 friends who made armies fear him. He was a ruler that made emperors fear him. Can you imagine someone who had that impact? So let's continue with the politics. We all like to be a bit radical, a bit revolutionary now and then. Can you show me one revolutionary in history? Just one. Just one. Who by word alone and through perfect example that he gave humanity could change the world forever without causing a single person to die. Without advocating revenge, without advocating overthrow, without advocating everything that revolutionaries do, turning the order upside down. He did it through example and through word. He changed the world forever. To this day, the kings in Europe, in Spain, in Britain, in Denmark, in the Netherlands, they all say, and they bow down to this man as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Because of the example that he gave humanity. There's never been a person equal to Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And even if you don't want to believe in the Bible narrative, you better believe this man was who he claimed he was. That this man was something so special, so unique, it has never been replicated in history. So there's my answer. Without believing in the Bible, can you believe in Jesus? Yes. It's difficult to know Jesus without the Bible, but it's not impossible. It's just so much easier with the Bible to know who Jesus Christ was and who he said he was. And a person with this example in life and this impact throughout history, maybe you should actually believe he was who he said he was. If you can have faith behind ideologues like Karl Marx, Chairman Mao, Vladimir Lenin, Stalin, Pol Pot, Adolf Hitler, and some of the most murderous and brutal human beings ever, at least give Jesus Christ a try. He don't let you down, and he never let you down.